Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for watching. This is I was giving my review on episode 10 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Actually, this episode, was a very unique one. I'm sorry if I'm way behind, but I promise I'll put every on as soon as possible. This episode really very good, because so much that was going on, the emotion, and then seeing character development. Anyway, let's get started. Starts off with Boruto, Shikadai, and Mitsuki. They're on top of a tower. Boruto just searching out, just staring wholeheartedly at the ground, like I'm trying to find the ghost. That's the nickname they gave that weird shadow. It was Boruto who came up with it. The fact that he came up with it, and I think that's a good name because this thing just disappears and reappears like nowhere. Or the ghost. So they're using this opportunity to try to find this ghost. Shikadai, doesn't like the name. It's pretty weird. He's also urging Mitsuki not to not to like encourage, not to just say things so flippantly and encourage stuff, because this could be very problematic. Because the situation they're dealing with right now, a problem. They're literally looking for trouble now. Boruto knows that they have to have this, especially if his eye's the only one who can see him. He calls his eye the star of hope. That's like a line from an anime. That's like a cheesy line if I ever heard it. That's one of the most cheesiest lines I've ever heard in all of her. But Boruto, he gets dry eyes. He stares too hard at the freaking ground. He gets eye drops. The trio spent the rest of the day looking for it. It's already sundown. How they literally skip school. How these kids skip school. They skipped it. They skipped school. So basically, so they can go looking for the ghost. Which is pretty reckless. How they had Mitsuki write the letter, saying they weren't going to attend. So while the parents thinking when they were at school, they would go out looking for Shadow. They were literally playing hooky, which is very bad. However, however, they all get caught eventually. Mitsuki, wrote a bad letter. Everybody, they all got in trouble. Hinata confronted Boruto. She literally scares the crap out of him. Seeing like huge shy Hinata being all scary. I mean, she's a mom now. She has to take things more seriously, especially with a son that could be as reckless as he is. That's like the second time seeing a scary Byakugan like that. You want to see another one, go look up the day Naruto became Hokage, the OVA, where Himawari freaked out and awakened the Byakugan, using her raw anger. It was pretty funny. Seeing this, Mitsuki, he has terrible handwriting. It's obvious he doesn't know how to lie very well. Oh, like Shikadai even got in trouble too. Like his mom Tonari literally slapped the hell out of him. Like his face was like beet red. There's a parent teacher conference at school. Boruto. He's in trouble. They all are. They all are. It's pretty funny. Funny. He unfortunately he ditches. He ditches that even though. No, they're very concerned. Like he's not supposed to miss school or training because if he does that, he's gonna lack his training. He's not gonna be able to take care of himself. Because if he skips up being shinobi training, how's he gonna defend himself? That's what's coming. Because right now, the village is under attack by this mysterious shadow, and they have no idea how to deal with it. So right now, maybe not be the best time to like be so reckless. Shino said, telling Hinata, that being so reckless like that as a kid, that we were like that. And Hinata thinks it's just to get his father's attention, that being Naruto, Naruto, Naruto being a Hokage, he's not too busy. I mean, remember, like, he grew up not knowing a lot about his father, his father was always at work, and now, he's there, now he doesn't get to know father's life. Like, so right now they have what you call a rocky relationship, father and son, which is kind of sad, Boruto wants to know his father, but his father doesn't have time for him, And Naruto, he never knew who his father was. All it was, and that wasn't until like years later when Minato, made sure to get to meet him and his mother, for the sealing spell, Seeing the situation as it is, things move forward, Boruto's in trouble, are looking for the shadow, however, they can't just go around doing reckless stuff, so they come in with a backup plan. Later, they get to experience something called workplace experience. it's basically the kids they go to they work with adults. They find out what jobs they get to do. Basically it's basically work experience. And I've been through the same thing in real life. And you go to a certain place, you learn about their work, you work with the staff, you basically get to handle how they do things. Like we get to see them pick different jobs. Like for example, Iwabe, hey, and Kenki picks the dynamite fireworks stuff. Although Genki doesn't want to do that. Inojin and Metal Lee, they go for fire department, literally becoming firefighters. Salada and Cho-Cho, they pick the salon. They pick the nail salon. Which is pretty nice. And Boruto, Mitsuki, and Shikadai, they want to find a way to do their job to find a job, but lets them also look for their shadow. So they decided to do delivery and post office. So because as a postman, you get to travel around delivering mail. This way, you get to look around the whole village. Uh, they said, which is pretty explicit, but also pretty clever. They get to meet their superior, like the guy who's watching them, Tayuya. Tayuya, he seems like a nice guy. They get to see the head of the bureau chief. He's in charge of all the mail. You see, like Tayuya, he looks like a pretty nice guy, but the bureau chief, he's pretty strict. Trying to teach them that there's like discipline and creative, and like it's not always easy. Try to teach them that delivery is not just simple work. It's hard work. You have to work hard, organize. He even says that he knows a little bit about ninja skills. He even tried to like do that thing where you throw shuriken and even make noises. Like Baruch, like the kids are like, what the hell? Like what is he doing? Like showing off. You know, they all travel around learning how to deliver mail and stuff. And along their way, they get to see Naruto. They get to see Naruto. Like for example, Boruto sees his father, Naruto, during a ribbon cutting ceremony, and Naruto sees him. He talks with Boruto. And knowing that he's on this trip, he talks with his son. They have a conversation. However, Boruto, lets him know that he picked this job, but he's not picked it because he liked it. But Naruto let him know he's glad that his son is doing this. That he's going around following the field trip. That's something you gotta see. Like, however, Boruto, they get into it, a little bit. Boruto's still irritated with his father. The fact that it's good to see him. Like, he's seeing his father right now, but he's bothered so busy. But he even tells like the delivery guy, please take care of my son. He could be a handle. The guy like literally like his jaw dropped when he see Naruto, him being the Hokage. Like he's asking, please take care of my son. That's a father actually asking him to take care of his son. And he doesn't know that Boruto is the Hokage's son. So that's pretty distinct. And after Naruto leaves, the kids decide to rush in, like literally deliver the mail themselves. However, they do a crazy job. They just go rushing in, literally throwing the letters. Some of them don't even get into like the mail slot. They cause problems. Things get crazy. We get to see that everybody else, do what they're doing in their job. We get to see Iwabe and Denki at the fireworks factory. We see gunpowder. Iwabe is so excited. He causes an explosion. Fireworks go off. Messing with gunpowder. Metal Lee and Eugene, they're trying to fight a fire with the fire department. Metal Lee gets nervous. He can't handle the hose. It's pretty funny. Then Salada and Cho-Cho, they're having fun at the salon. After that, they go outside and they go eat. Go eat. It's pretty much them. Trying to do busy work. We get to see all the characters. What they're doing. But remember, we're just following. This place is a work placement. Kids like following adults, what they're doing their jobs, and figuring out what their future could be. That's actually true in real life. Kids going to workplaces, field trips. That is true. Work placement. I know because I went through that in real life. Seeing this now, the kids, they did their jobs. They delivered all the mail. However, they didn't do a very good job of it. It causes problems later. I'll tell you now. And they get to hear They get to hear news that there was a problem in Senju Park, which is on the other side of the village. Senju Park. That means that means the park is named after Hachirama Senju. There's his old man. He's lying weak on the ground. He's taking the medical care. Most of his chakras raised. Like the equipment has been destroyed. Like apparently he caused it, but most of his chakras drained. We get to see Sai again. We haven't seen much of Sai in a long time. Most development. We haven't seen him like since the last episode of Naruto. I mean, we've seen him since like the openings and stuff. But now we get to see Sai again, which is just awesome. I like how they like to develop more characters. He talks with Naruto and Shikamaru, who back in the back, and he tells them that the source of the incident may have something to do with the Hokage cells. Sorry, Hashirama cells. That they found evidence that someone's using wood style. And this may lead to the foundation. Like according to what they said, like the foundation, were mostly abandoned after their Danzo's death, because Danzo was their leader. However, there were some that developed the forbidden techniques and using top secret information, like for example, using Hashirama cells in research. If you guys don't know about that, Orochimaru did experiments using the First Hokage cells. He did forbidden experiments. That's how we got Yamato. If you guys remember, because the First Hokage had the power to control, basically Tail Beast and Jinchuriki. He wanted the power of the First Hokage for himself. Seeing the situation as it is now, they think that there's someone's trying to use Hashirama cells again, even though, and they found some evidence that they're using wood style. However, they also think that it may be them because there were people in the foundation who could use this technology, Hashirama cells, but also developed it for military use. That means that at a moment they were willing to go to war using wood style powers and stuff. And there's not a lot of people who use wood style, like Yamato being one of them. And also he learned wood style using the technique. Using wood style is not easy. It's very powerful and also very dangerous. It's not hard to handle. It's also so. Oh, not easy. So right now they have at least a clue of what's going on. However, nobody has died from the incident so far, but so far it's just been them gathering chakra. That means they're draining people of their chakra. That means they're trying to drain energy. They're trying to collect chakra for something important, which is probably their main goal right now. Seeing the situation as it is, things can only work. Things can get bad because that means that something's coming. That means that something's coming because nobody's died, and before it was only 7 incidents. Now this is just 8, and now things go. Now things may get bad for them, and Naruto's worried. He has to deal with this while also trying to protect his family. He deals the Hokage, but he's still a father and husband. His concerned for his wife, his daughter, his son, especially his son and daughter. That's the kind of person Naruto is right now. He knows that he wants to protect his family, but he feels like he's probably not going to have a good relationship with his son if he keeps this up. But he knows he has to for the good of the village. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. I'm just trying to best way to understand this. As the story continues, Boruto and the others go back to the post office. However, it leads to a problem. They get to see Cho-Cho outraged that her special limited edition potato chips didn't come. Apparently, because the kids messed up the orders, everybody got get their stuff or got the wrong stuff off by accident, so they're gonna get problem plates all day. The kids get in trouble. Tayuya, he went out to re-deliver all this stuff all over again, which is a big ass problem. The kids are in trouble. The bureau chief's not letting him go out and help. He punish them by leaving them in the stockroom and just look at stamps. Which is a problem. However, things get from bad to worse as they see in the news that the water purification plant has been attacked. And we saw this earlier. The class rep and 2 of the other girls were there when Boruto was delivering letters. There's the class rep is there at the plant, and the plant just got attacked. And the class rep, she's a sweet girl, very kind, but we don't get to see her much in the story later. That means at some point she probably dies or whatever. This may be it. This may be when Naruto may lose one of his closest friends, which is pretty sad to think about it, And remember, this story takes place, before the start of Boruto Naruto the movie, before the tuning exams, So that means this may be how she dies, And we don't even know what happened to the other 2 girls, It may be and maybe not. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Let me know down below what did you think of this video. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm sorry for the camera angle. I got a new computer laptop. The angle sucks. As you can barely see the Bleach poster of Ichigo right there, which sucks. And the other one is like Grand Arcanum Transmutation Color for Full Metal Alchemist. You can barely see that anymore. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. This is asking my interview on Boruto Naruto Next Generations. I'm out. Bye.